Hey everybody, it's that time of the month for Darrell's monthly Maintenance Tuesday. So I've talked about sprinkler systems before, but I help a lot of my first time buyers when they have issues. I was out this weekend with one of my clients. He had a zone that was stuck. So we went out to one of the big hardware stores. I'm not here to pitch stores or products, but I'm going to talk about one today. So he had a zone that was stuck. It came on immediately when he turned the system on. Typically, that's a sign of a bad solenoid. So we went to one of the big hardware stores and we bought this brand called Orbit because he had a Toro system. I'm using the names just so you know. Most of us have Toro or Rainbird, and some may have Orbit or Hunter. But this Orbit solenoid is universal, so we changed that. We put it in, it worked. Now he still had the issue because for every zone you have on a sprinkler system, you should have a solenoid for that zone. And this guy has 7 zones, but we could only find 2 boxes where the solenoids were. And after I left, he found that there was a cover that the previous owner had left in the garage. And he happened to find, I heard a buzzing whenever one zone came on, and it wasn't the new solenoid I put in, but it was one, and I couldn't find where it was, and he found it. That's probably going to fix the problem. So that's one of those things. There's also control valves. If those go bad, you need a sprinkler guy. Changing solenoids is easy. The Orbit has a special adapter to fit various products, so that's something to think of. If you have a Toro, they don't sell those at the big hardware stores, but the Orbit, they do, and that's universal from the way it appears. So let me also go down that line. I've talked about the soil here in Dallas-Fort Worth specifically. We have the black clay gumbo, and it's like a sponge. It rises, or it expands when it's wet, dries when it's, or shrinks when it dries, sorry. So I'd always told all my clients to go get soaker hoses. And when I was at this gentleman's house, he had a drip line that he bought again at one of the hardware stores. It's a little brown tube. He had his above the ground. And then the supply line was a black plastic tube that was solid with no holes in it. Now the soaker hose that I bought in the past, if I'm lucky, they last a season. And one of my other clients told him about it that I sold the house to, and he was using a soaker hose. Both of them had some foundation movement issues, and one of the ways to help that not happen is keep the foundation wet. Not overly wet. You usually put the hose about 18 inches away. Now, if you're on a slope like most of our homes are, you may have to put it closer, but you don't want it right by the foundation because it causes it to heave. But if you go get these drip lines at the big hardware stores and install them, if you can do it underground, it'll be better. That way you don't have to worry about your weed eater possibly damaging it or mower. Then it makes it a permanent situation for you. You're not having to move soaker hoses every time you move. Also, there's a device that goes with them where you can control turning it on and off with your phone if you're away. So that's what I wanted to talk about this week. Not a real long one, but hopefully this is useful to you, especially if you've relocated to Dallas or Texas from elsewhere. Our soils are unique. So it's something you need to know. We do have earthquakes. They're not common, but our soil is like an earthquake under the soil multiple times a year, and it's not a good thing. If you have any more questions about this, just reach out to me. If there's some other subject you want me to talk about maintenance-wise, real estate-wise, just reach out to me. All my information is at the end of this video. See you next Monday for my market report, and a month from, or the next Tuesday of June. See you then.